Hi students. Okay, so today we are going to take a look on the PT3 English Speaking Test. Right, so let's get started. What you should know about our PT3 Speaking Test. Okay, in this test, you will be paired up with your partner. So usually your partner will be your own classmates that will be chosen by your teacher. There are three parts. So the first one is the general questions, is a individual task. Part 2, a series of pictures, also individual. Part 3, you need to communicate with your partner. Now let's take a look on the general questions. In this part, you will be taking turns on answering the question. Okay, so for instance, you have candidate A, candidate B. So candidate A will answer the question first. Right after that, candidate B will also answer the question. It won't be the same, it will be different question. Now, for part 2, for a series of pictures, both of you will get different pictures. Now, for part 3, you'll get the chance to communicate with your partner. You will discuss about the questions that you are going to be received later on. Okay, now we move on to the general questions. In these general questions, there are two phases. Phase 1, okay, it's a warm-up session. So you will be asked, what is your name? Where do you live? Do you enjoy learning English? This is only the sample of the question. You might get different questions later on. Now, tips on answering this question, it is best to add a bit more of information into your answer. For instance, when you talk about your name, instead of saying my name is Nurul Atika, you should add more. However, at home, my family members always call me Atika, but at school, my friends usually call me Nurul. So you talk about your nicknames. Now, about where do you live, maybe you can talk about a very popular landmark that you have nearby your house. For example, I live inside Putrajaya, Selangor. Okay, it is very close with Putrajaya or any other landmarks that you know. So you talk about that. For the phase 2, okay, you are given roughly 30 seconds for each question. It means you will only get one question only. Okay, so the samples of the questions are, what do you usually do after school? Has anyone ever given you a really good present? Do you watch TV after school? In this part, please elaborate your answers. Now, for instance, do you watch TV after school? Don't just say or give your answer with yes or no. State your reasons. If it's yes, why? If it's no, why? Now the second one, has anyone ever given you a really good present? Same things like, do you watch TV after school? Don't just give answer yes or no. You should state the reasons behind it and give example. You say yes, so I got a phone from my mom and dad because, and then you state your reason. Now we move on to part 2. Okay, in part 2, you are given a series of pictures to look at. There are 5 pictures. You will be given some time to look at the pictures. And then when you are ready, you have a minute to talk about the pictures. Okay, once you have finished your part, the teacher will ask a question to your partner about your pictures. And then after that, you need to give the pictures back to the teacher, and then your partner will receive another different pictures. Okay, so your partner will do the same thing as you earlier, and you get a question about your partner's pictures. Okay, so these are the step-by-steps in the part 2. See, the first one, you receive the 5 pictures. Each candidate will get different ones. You will look at the pictures to draft some ideas for your story later. You will talk about it for 1 minute. Remember, only for 1 minute. When your times are up, you will be stopped. Your partner will need to answer a question about your pictures. Okay, and then your partner will do the same as you, or vice versa. Okay, we move on to the last one, part 3. Okay, in this part 3, you will talk about something together in 2 minutes. Both of you will receive the same question and you are required to discuss about it. Example of the question: imagine your school is organizing a camping trip in the jungle and you need to think about what to take with you. Both of you will look into the list of things as shown in the picture here. You need to talk about it with your partner in 2 minutes. So when you are looking into the list of things, just like in this picture, you are given some time actually to draft your ideas. When you are ready, you are given the 2 minutes. Okay, just imagine and pretending that you are talking to your friends like every day, like daily life. Okay, don't be nervous. Okay, and my suggestion is try to end the discussion with an agreement. Okay, or with a proper ending. For example, you say things that you should bring to a camping trip will be a pillow, a map, and a torch. However, your friends choose magazine and books, mobile phones, snacks, and sweets. So you have different ideas on what you need to bring on the camping trip. So when you end your discussion or you give the conclusion, try to give a proper ending. Okay, you can say, maybe you can say, although we have different agreement on this list of things that we should bring on the camping trip, we can agree that all of the things are actually beneficial to us, right? Okay, so I think that's it, that what you need to know about your speaking test. So remember there are actually 3 parts. So part 1 is the general question. Part 2 is you receive a series of pictures to talk about. And part 3, you will get the chance to talk with your partner. Okay, if you have any questions about the speaking test, feel free to ask me anything. Thank you, and I'll see you in our next class.